USA, from the beginning of the pandemic, we listened to the news with our eyes shut, and we missed the truth. Let's not make that mistake again. Urgent message about the Team USA Challenge, and pass this on to everyone you care about and those they care about. It is time we take responsibility for our safety as one country with a national coordinated plan. We cannot keep waiting for someone else to do it. If we come together, we can make this happen together. Division will not get us where we need to be or where we want to go. We need your help for Team USA to win. We are all in this together.
If you have not been wearing a mask, for whatever reason, I'm going to tell you something we all have in common. No one likes wearing a mask. No one wants to wear a mask. For those of you who say you are not going to wear a mask because we live in America and we are free and we have the right to choose whether we put a mask on or not. When you were misguided, we'll put it as misguided, and told not to wear a mask, did you put a mask on because you are free and live in America? Now I'm betting the answer would be no. And we know why. Because the bottom line is no one wants to wear a mask. And the people that don't have a problem wearing a mask but chose not to wear a mask, when they were told they did not wear a mask, they heard what they wanted to hear and they didn't put a mask on. I made my family wear a mask. I wore a mask. And I'm going to walk you through some steps, because since the beginning I've been telling people, listen to the news with your eyes. If you listen to the news with your eyes, you would see the truth. You would have seen the truth, and you would have caught the answers to some questions. And I'm going to give you an example. I do believe it was March. Dr. Oz had the virologist on. He was a big part of the movie Contagion. He was asked by Dr. Oz, do masks help? His answer was, there aren't enough masks for the frontline people. He didn't say, no, they don't. Yes, they do. But he answered that in the very beginning. Of course they do. But we don't have enough for the frontline people. And we all know they were talking about N95 masks. And I wish so badly that they would have just said, there aren't enough N95 masks. We need them for the front line. But you need a mask. And we need you to wear a cloth mask. And we should have been told. But at the same time, if everyone would have just opened their eyes, even though they didn't show a lot of it in the beginning, they would have seen in the background when they were showing scenes of the hospital, every frontline worker was wearing a mask, protective eyewear, gloves, protective eyewear, mask, and most often a face shield. So the answer was there.
All right, USA, so let's get this team started, all right? We are going to take charge of our lives, our family, our safety, our livelihood. Everyone had their holiday, had their fun, our large gatherings, and I want you to commit to tomorrow, because the surge is so high and it's spreading rapidly, and we have got to come together and get this down. And we're going to end up where we were, if not worse. It is spreading even faster now. As of today, I believe it's 132,000 deaths. 132,000 deaths that I wish we could have saved. And 534,000 worldwide. It's awful. So I'm going to read through the criteria, and I'm going to show you up close. Hopefully you can take a picture of this if you can see it, and send it. Send it to everyone, please. Everyone. All right. Team USA. 5-week challenge to save lives. Team USA versus COVID-19. Team qualifications to care. Those of you that have already been wearing a mask, in this 5 weeks, you need to up your game on protecting yourself and others. Be a role model for everyone, for our children. Right here, I'd like to add something. Dr. Fauci said, and unfortunately I've only seen them repeat that one time. Dr. Fauci came out in the open, said truthfully, he wears a mask to protect himself, to protect others, and as a symbol to tell everyone they need to wear a mask. Team USA, free from racism, politics, discrimination, violence, and vandalism. The only enemy is COVID-19. I want everyone to wear a 3-layer mask or better. I understand that we need to leave the N95 masks for the front line. Right now, you can get masks, these masks. I purchased a package of 50 yesterday for $7.50 on Amazon. Now, they did show that you can dip these in boiling water for 10 seconds to clean them. I don't know the exact number of times that you can reuse them. My family, we use usually this mask, and they claim it's a 4-layer. Got them on Amazon, they go fast. I have a UV, but it's not touching our mouth. We use the very cheap liner mask to wear under it so we can dispose of it. This one goes in the UVC machine. 3+ layers, and we're going to talk about why 3+ layers later. Be prepared. Those of you that are wearing masks, and of course, everyone that ends up joining Team USA, those that weren't wearing a mask, that I need to commit to wearing a mask. 5-week challenge, 5 weeks. Let me get more into that in just a second. But everyone on this team, everyone wearing a mask, I want you to be more prepared to end up around people not wearing a mask. Everyone needs to realize, though we don't have N95 masks, and remember South Korea, they all had an N95 mask. There, no one wants to be shamed. They put your name on television, say your name on television, and they all, with their ID numbers, got an N95 mask. They all had them on. We don't have that here. I wish so badly that that was one of the things that the U.S. was really working on together. I don't want to get into any reason. I don't know all the reasons we don't have them, but it would be nice if soon, at least those that are sick with COVID-19, that have tested positive, if they could get an N95 mask and their household, so that we could stop the spread within households as well. It is very difficult quarantining, isolating within a house. I understand that it's necessary, but it would make it easier if those people had the right mask. But just remember, because we don't have N95 masks, if everyone wore a mask that is around you, you now have double the protection. So we've got to encourage everyone to do this. And I know it sounds so long-term, waiting for a vaccination. But right now, we can't second guess this. We've got countries closing the border to us. This isn't a hoax. This is real. Watch TV. Open your eyes. Look at the people in the hospital. This isn't being made up. And Unfortunately, there was so much said. They repeated on the news over and over and over. Dr. Birx saying how this is affecting grandma, grandpa, the elderly, the elderly, the elderly, the elderly. First of all, since when are the elderly not important enough to put a mask on to help save their lives? They are. All lives matter. But it's not just the elderly. It's random. I call it playing Russian roulette. So people with diabetes, they're important. People with cancer, they're important. People with obesity, they're important. People with heart problems, they're important. All of those people with underlying medical health problems, of all colors, they are important. We need to help save their lives. In addition to that, randomly, athletes, children, 20-year-olds, teenagers, parents. There are so many parents, myself included, 51 with twin 9-year-olds. There are parents in their 60s with children still in high school, or even younger than that. So I think that it's possible that it got desensitized, especially by the younger generation, high school, colleges, hearing grandma and grandpa. We have got to pull this together. And right now, because of the surges and because of what is happening and the deaths increasing rapidly, the hospitalization increasing rapidly, the positive infected people increasing rapidly, doing the math based on the information they've given us, from the time that you're infected, it can take up to 2 weeks to start showing symptoms. Remember, this is give or take. This is a strong estimate. I'll put it that way. A scientific estimate or logic or factual based on evidence. I don't have all of that information. But if it can take up to 2 weeks, once you've been exposed, to start showing symptoms or to test positive, and then infected for approximately 2 weeks, that isn't totally certain. People have had it even longer than 2 weeks. So let's do an estimate here. If we all pulled together for 5 weeks, 5 weeks, what is 5 weeks if it's going to help save your life, your children, your neighbors, your friends, your family, Americans you don't know, your livelihood, allow you to be able to go on vacation sooner, go back to work sooner, go to restaurants sooner, go to the bar sooner, go to the beach. We don't want to keep going back and forth, spending money to open up, spending money to make changes only to have to close. I do know that leaders are trying. I wish there wasn't all that division. I wish there was consistency. I wish there was a national coordinated plan. But right now, Americans can make the difference, not just in saving lives, saving the economy, getting some normalcy, and we need to do it now. All right, Team USA, let's keep going. So, those of you wearing the mask, I want you to now be prepared just in case someone doesn't have a mask on. You have seen these face shields. If you are just wearing a thin mask, now I get that on news stations they're giving pieces here, pieces there, pieces, different channels. Sometimes they repeat things, sometimes they don't. Everybody gets some new information, and that's how it's confusing, and sometimes the information is very different. So I want to try to pull it all together for you. I'll try to focus. I have so much I want to say because I care so much. I want to try to focus on the team challenge criteria. Please do not go away, please, please. I'm telling you. I have a patent pending, promising national plan for contact tracing And I really think and feel, and the feedback from many of my friends, doctors that are friends, doctors that are doctors, my doctors, lawyers, engineers, salespeople, you name it. I have got such positive feedback. I've got people checking in with me to see if I've heard anything. I've had doctors tell me not to give up. It'll stick, and I appreciate the encouragement so much. So I've got to share this with you, so please stay with me. So we heard a top virologist that was on a very crowded flight. He said he did everything right. This is what he does. He had a mask on. Everything was clean. He did not wear glasses. Now, he didn't say he rubbed his eyes. The information was even given there that he got it through his eyes. He got infected. And we're talking about a healthy, younger virologist that did everything right, that knows what to do, that got COVID-19. And he paid the price. So I want you to be prepared with either clear protective glasses. Do clear, please. If we add shaded glasses, especially at night, do not wear dark glasses at night. You're going to look suspicious. Mask is already enough. I don't want anyone hurt. Be prepared with clear protective glasses or goggles or a face shield when around those not wearing a mask. If it's possible, it is possible. Make it possible. If you absolutely must go to a restaurant and you can't just have it delivered or take out, we need to try to figure out a way that we all wear a mask into the restaurant. Hopefully the restaurant is not only wearing masks and their staff is wearing masks and covering their nose and mouth. All these people with the nose out. I love when Governor Cuomo said this is not a chin guard and pulled his mask down to his chin. These people need to wear a mask while they're doing setup, while they're preparing. If they are asymptomatic, they don't know it, and they are talking or coughing or touching everything during setup, this is already another way you can get it, and you're not even realizing it. I love that they said bring your own plastic utensils. I traveled. I brought all of my own utensils. I didn't let anyone in my room. I never stepped out of my room without protective glasses, a mask, had hand sanitizer with me, charge card in a Ziploc. Any room service I got, this was in March. I gave them the percentage of my tip on everything so I didn't have to sign my bill for my stay. And I asked them to cover everything, leave it outside my door, knock, and walk away. And that's what I did. I cleaned my own room, had them deliver my sheets. That wasn't so fun, having to actually be traveling and still have to do all of that while paying for someone else to do it. But anyway, I took charge. I listened to the news with my ears and my eyes. Okay. If we could wear a mask going in the restaurant, and then to eat and drink, use a face shield, drink with a straw. I know there might not be enough space, so you got to work that out. Maybe someone can invent a really small utensil and give us some space for our face. Anyway, the problem is there's still some Karens out there. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I don't know how they came up with the word Karen, but we can't be spitting on people and spitting on counters or throwing groceries or pushing people. If the store says you cannot come in without a mask, the store needs to hold everyone accountable, and those wearing a mask need to feel safe and secure that that store is upholding that. If they're not, shop somewhere else. Now, if you really have a medical reason that you can't wear a mask, and I mean honestly, I still want you on my team. Team US, our team. Our team. But you need to still care about others, still care about yourself. So right now, you need to try to not be going around people if you can't wear a mask. You need to send someone to do your shopping, or ask the store, give them the list, and ask them to do it for you. They will. They will. I've already heard stores offering to do that. If you still, for some reason, they won't do it, they're too busy, and you must get something, have a face shield on. What in the world? Why would you want to play Russian roulette with yourself or anyone else? I care about you. Put a face shield on. Have that doctor's note. Shoot, I think I'd tape a sign. Please do not hate me. I do care. I have a medical reason. I have a note. Whatever. Do what is necessary to make us be a team. To make us be a team. Save lives, save the economy, get us back to some normalcy. I want you to use encouragement and kindness to help others care and wear a mask. We don't need to scream and yell at the people because we know what's going to happen. They're going to get defensive. They're going to get upset, possibly throw groceries or spit or coffee or cough or storm out. Boy, would this be a good time for Oprah to be Skyping the book she Skyped years ago on Pain Bodies, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. Check it out if you have not. Oprah, we need you. I want you to follow CDC guidelines. Don't touch the inside of your mask. Even the people speaking on TV to help us, you see them, or news journalists, you see them take off their mask, not picking on anyone. We are all human and we are not used to the pandemic. You see them take off the mask, and while they're talking, they've got a finger in the mask, or they're playing with the mask, or they put it back on. There was actually a doctor that came on and showed people how to do a mask and gloves. I know she was trying to help, but she talked to us like we're a baby, but it was more this type of mask, and she put half her hands inside the mask. We want to keep our hands off the inside of the mask. I have my family, if I'm going to exercise and no one's around, I will wear a thinner mask. But I have my thicker one. Just tuck it in my waistband. But I always fold it in. My hands are clean. I've got sanitizer on a little backpack. I have Kleenex to get through a gate. I have gloves just in case, you never know. So for 5 weeks, we need to watch how much better it gets, or watch and see that we don't even end up so much worse, because we're on the rise right now, and we're still coming off of Memorial Weekend. We've got all the protesters, and people wearing masks, some people not wearing masks, some people not putting their nose in it, screaming, and we're not in N95 masks, and people have to eat and drink out there, and there's no space, and people hugging. So we've got these gatherings where they're not even trying to wear masks. We've got college kids allegedly gambling to see who can get corona first. Boy, would I be disappointed if that was my child. I would tell my child I love them. I'd put my child in counseling. I'm sure the college, if they prove it, might want to consider probation, etc. We need to teach our children empathy. Empathy, so important. So, I also, of course, wash hands 20 plus. And it bothers me that 1 minute they tell you how long the virus can stay on different things, cardboard, shoes, metal surfaces, plastic surfaces. Of course we can get COVID-19 by touching something that has it living on that object, rubbing our mouth, rubbing our nose, rubbing our eyes. Of course. I was asked the other day, and this is why I said, make people be accountable for their answers when we ask questions. So make sure you don't give them an out in your question. If you're standing in line 6 feet from someone else in line, can we get COVID-19 when we step into their space? Of course they can tell you it's not likely if you're both wearing a mask, or if you are at least wearing a mask. But since scientists have known since 1946 that we generate aerosols when talking or coughing, obviously sneezing, and they have come on the news and told us that the aerosols, different sizes I get, that one size is dropping to the floor sooner, and the larger, the smaller in the air. So we know they've said that the aerosols, the particles, can stay in the air 3 hours, 8 minutes, talking different sizes, different time frames. We've seen that it can go over the shelves in the grocery store, go through ventilation, carried, they said, up to 30 feet, or carried 30 feet in polluted air. They've shown sneezes going up to, I believe, 15 feet. They've shown some different masks and how many inches, or a little over a foot. I think it was maybe 15 inches with the bandana going through the cone-shaped, the 2-layer mask. They've also said your mask should be 3 layers, that you should have at least a 3-layer mask. There's so many different things on so many different news stations, and so the answer to that question, if you're keeping 6-foot space and neither of you have a mask on, and you're standing in line, and this person in front of you is talking or coughing or sneezes, and you walk right into their space, your risk, if they have corona, you know the answer to that. You are at risk for getting COVID-19. That's using logic. Logic and the scientific information that they have given us in pieces. And you've heard the CDC, you've heard Dr. Fauci, you've seen, I don't know if you've seen it, I've seen it, I saw it in March, a medical journal saying about the particles in the air for 3 hours, from talking, sneezing, coughing, all of that. In fact, I have to tell you this real quick, and I'll get back on Team USA. In March, someone emailed me with 29 people. I didn't know this person in my neighborhood. They should not have had my email. I don't know how they got my email. Asking if anyone needed anything, which I thought was nice. So I thanked the person, and I told everyone, please stay safe. I attached the medical journal article on warning us of the 3 hours of particles in the air. And I told them, wear a mask and protective eyewear. This man who said he was a doctor, and I firmly believe there are wonderful doctors. Some of my closest friends are doctors. But there are bad apples in every enterprise. This doctor proceeded to harass me, starting with, stay off the internet and listen to the politicians. This was March, around the 3rd, maybe getting into the 4th week of March. I explained to him, first of all, I didn't say wear an N95 mask. I said a mask. I told him there are so many masks other than N95 on Amazon. So many. And if we wear a mask, we are helping the front line. And we are helping others, preventing them from ending up in the hospital or ending up in the ICU or ending up dead. We are helping the front line by putting on a mask. Next thing you know, in addition to his attacking me and harassment on email, 2 other men, nonstop. I was called selfish, an idiot. One man told me I better not dare call him or he'll give me an earful. I don't even know who the man is. Why would I call him? I asked them nicely to please stop emailing me, and it would not stop. So, you have to remember your mask does protect you and others. All that controversy in the beginning, dancing around the misguided, I'm sure that they also have a job to keep us from panicking while they are sharing this information. But we don't need to panic. There isn't a reason to panic. We just need to take charge, get the facts, use logic, use science, use love, and stick together and protect ourselves, protect each other, protect our family. We need to do what we need to do without panic, and remember that our children, they count on our tone and our facial expression. We just need to stay calm, realize this is what it is. It won't be forever, and we have to get through it. And think like an athlete. Think like an athlete. Maybe we'll end up in better shape because we are, some people train in the gym with the masks. So it's like high altitude training. So think of it like that. I know it's not fun, but you have to stay positive. Spread the positivity. Okay, so our goal is to flatten the curve. Isn't it so annoying when your glasses steam up all the time? Right now, the U.S. really needs us. Absolutely needs us. If you are 18 to 39, now is the time for you to step up and save the future. Do your part. We've all been 18. Well, those of us that are 18 and older, we've been 18. We've been there. I've been there at 39, in my 20s, and I guarantee you, I would have put a mask on. I was taught empathy. I have a huge heart. I am responsible. I love people. I love my family. I do not gamble with life. I don't gamble with other people's lives. And I am free. I do have a choice, but I care. Now, if the choice was just, if you don't wear a mask, it only hurts you, and you don't want to wear a mask, no one would bother you. And you are free to do that. And you are still free to not wear a mask. Unfortunately, because I don't want to see you die. I don't want to see the person that's spitting on people die. All lives matter. It's not just the elderly this is hurting. Moms, oh my word. How much do we stress and worry about our children? They also said people that stress, people that don't sleep enough, people that have a lot of inflammation. Let me tell you what, that is me. I was a former professional distance runner, but I have 6 screws, 2 wedges in my neck, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, 4 screws and a fake disc in my back. I have enough inflammation. I stress all the time. I'm stressing over worrying about the USA and not having a plan, and people choosing to go party without a mask and not care. I stress over that. So I know I'm at risk. I don't sleep much. I am 51. Well, 51 will only get worse, and injuries and inflammation and worry. And I know there are plenty of mothers going through the same thing. I'm sure fathers are too, but I only know how moms feel. If you care about anyone or yourself, join, build our team, spread the word to everyone. Be mindful, please. Save all colors of all ages. I actually care about the world. Please take a picture of the brochure and spread it to everyone, even in other countries that you know. They could form Team Brazil, Team Mexico, Team Switzerland, Team anything, everything, Team Russia, Team India. Spread the word. Just care. Remember, the only enemy is COVID-19. And this isn't about California versus Texas and New York or Arizona or the hot spots, the low spots, or another country. This is about the world. Because if we take care of it in the U.S., but it's still going in another country, and somebody brings it back here, or we take it there, we do not know if this is going to vanish. No one knows that. We don't know what is going to happen. All I know is they are working very hard to get a vaccine, but it's not coming in 5 weeks. And it's not coming right now when the surges are up so high. So we need to be responsible. We need to care. And we need to join Team USA. Please keep your phone, your keys, your remote, your charge cards clean. These things get contaminated so easily. I think about my steps if I have to go somewhere. I had to take my family. We all desperately needed to go to the ophthalmologist. I actually went prepared with a clear bag with pretty much all I would need in case of any surprises. Because I know we are all born human. We are not born doctors. We are not born police. We are not born scientists. We don't have, most people do not have experience with a pandemic. And I'm responsible for my family. So I took a bag with Lysol hand sanitizer, alcohol wipes, extra masks, extra gloves. I had my charge card in a Ziploc. I actually left my phone purposely in the car, but you can put it in a Ziploc. I think about the door when I first get there. So in that instance, I actually wore gloves, and I put a pair of restaurant gloves over it so that I'd get through the door and not have contaminated hands already. I took press and seal saran wrap to cover the piece that they put in front of your eye. I was just prepared with everything. And each pair of glasses individually in a Ziploc to deal with. And I could see where everything was so that I wouldn't have to be going all through the bag searching for things. So just think it through when you have to do something. I love that one person said for the grocery cart, because some people, you may need to choose between hand sanitizer, how hard it is to get it, the cost of it, versus wipes, versus Lysol spray, versus putting tinfoil on the grocery cart. But there is no reason to throw your gloves on the ground. Oh my word, seriously, I can't handle that. There's no reason to throw them on the ground and also risk other people being contaminated. So an easy thing to do is to take them off, bring a Ziploc, put them in a Ziploc. You can dispose of them at a garbage can or at your own home. I get that you feel it's all over your gloves and you don't want that in your car. A pair out of my emergency bag. The sad thing is, where I live, I also have this bag packed and ready, not just for a place that people might be sick, but in case of another mandatory evacuation for a fire. Oh, please God, don't let that happen. I'm sorry for those it has happened to, and recently. I have bags packed and ready because we're in a pandemic, and that changes everything. If you are evacuated, where are you gonna go? And who's going to be protecting you? Who's going to be protected? What have they done at a hotel to make sure you are safe? You know, all these things you have to think about now. So I will put a pair of restaurant gloves over. I want to just show you this really quickly for Team USA to help protect you and you to help protect others, because they did have someone showing how to take gloves off, and personally I disagree. So you're going to pinch this at your wrist. I'm not trying to insult anyone that knows how to do this, but there have been people on there telling you only the front line, only doctors should wear gloves. Hogwash. We are capable. We are adults. There are many fields where we need to wear gloves. And restaurant, they've had things on the different types of doctor shows on how to not contaminate your kitchen. I mean, actually what we're doing right now on a lot of things is what we should be doing on our kitchen right now anyway. So you're gonna grab it at your wrist. Don't put your fingernail out and pull it real hard. What if you rip a hole in it? That's what someone showed on TV, on the news. So I want you to grab it here. Don't pull it all the way off like you were shown. Almost all the way off. Get it in your hand. Now put your thumb underneath. You don't have to pull hard. Don't rip a hole. Just pull enough so that nothing. Grab a Ziploc. Open it up. Put the Ziploc in there. Seal it. Put it in your car. Put it in the trash. Put it in another bag you have waiting in your car. Hand sanitize. Good to go. Not on the ground. Okay. Team USA. You're already wearing a mask. You up your game. So you are protected. Not only protecting yourself, protecting others, but also extra protection in case you end up around someone who is not wearing protection. And you're counting on that double protection from their mask and your mask. 2 barriers. We only have 1 barrier. We're not an N95. We're not thick enough. In many situations, not every situation. Depends on the distance, if they've coughed, sneezed, the seal. So protective eyewear, I've actually, instead of doing protective eyewear, the whole steaming thing drives me nuts. I have been putting a face shield on with my mask. I don't even know if that's enough. I know that they're even closer to it and more aerosols in the hospital treating COVID-19 patients. But I don't want to risk and make guesses. But I'm not going to put myself in a situation where most likely I'm going to be around people without a mask. So I'm going to be prepared. And I love that Dr. Fauci even changed and told us that even runners, you need to stay 15 feet behind them and don't be directly behind them. Move over. So if you think about it, probably 15 feet behind and 6 feet over. The wind carrying particles. AC, we've got to improve the ventilation for closed spaces. Okay, those of you not wearing a mask, please, 5 weeks isn't that much. I know you've got it in you. And you have the freedom to choose to help yourself and help others in just 5 weeks. And I'm going to tell you, at the end of the 5 weeks, I hope that you have felt the love and the team spirit of people thanking you and for wearing a mask. You thanking them and feeling the unity. And I hope that it reflects in the numbers of people in the hospitals, the ICU. Though we still have a lot of things that just recently happened. Even the 4th of July, parties, everything going on. And remember, we've got that 2 weeks time. If they've been exposed, that they might not even show or not become infected until up to 2 weeks. And then infectious for at least another 2 weeks. So this is crucial. This is just, it's just necessary, people. It's just what America, part of what we are supposed to be about. And that is a unified country. So advanced, so ahead. We are supposed to be caring, not divided. We are supposed to strive for change, not fight for change. We need to fight COVID-19. National plan, a national coordinated plan for contact tracing to get us to phase 4, to help get us normalcy, to give us more hope while we wait for the vaccine, to give us comfort, to give us peace, to equality for priority testing, seriously, we also need something that will allow us to have a passport if they do determine that we can obtain immunity from either recovering from COVID-19 or the vaccine. Wouldn't you like to be able to go without a mask and not be hassled, not be harassed, be able to just walk in a store and they see your passport? And a lot more simple than pulling out a cell phone. And I am actually hoping that Apple and Google, somebody can get to them. I think we're almost there with them. I hope that they can make some changes and quickly take their software and adapt it to what I am about to show you. Again, it's patent pending. Say we're only allowed to have 25% or 50% in this business or restaurant.